Welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen and I am from upstate New York. I am a mom and a wife and a teacher. Just looking for pockets of time throughout the day to create, and so I will be sharing with you different supplies, different things that I'm working on in different mediums like watercolor, mixed media. Been doing a lot of brush lettering lately, so just kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. And I have with me my orange cat, Gordon, who wants to get in the frame right now. And he's probably gonna get, here he comes. And this is my cat, Gordon. He requires a lot of attention. And I said mostly when I'm not paying attention to him. If I'm giving attention to something else, he needs to get in the frame. So today I thought that we would, I had made some like trading cards yesterday with my fluid acrylics and inks, and I thought that today maybe we would use some like mark making supplies that I have to just add to these. So Gordon, okay, you gotta go on your cat tree, buddy. Okay, before we get started, let's just take a look at what the Artist Almanac is for today. I have the 2025 Artist Almanac that was gifted to me by my my friend and artist Allison Durant. She's out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and she's just an amazing artist and person. I've gotten so much inspiration from her and encouragement. She's just such an encouraging, kind person. Okay, Monday, February 7th, or February 7th, February 10th. But it does have the 7. That's cool. I like the stitching. That would be fun to add some embroidery into my work. And I like, that reminds me of like an old like camera or film or something that, I don't know what that, yeah, and that is fabric that was dyed, and then the stitching, that's very clever. Okay, so before we get into our cards here, yesterday I realized these Mildliner brush pens that I had shared in my last video don't have the color or a number on them. So before I threw out the packaging, I took my label maker and went through and just labeled what the colors were. So that was quite satisfying so I have them all labeled so I'll know which color is which. And actually, along that line, I wanted to share, if I can find it. I have a lot of different notebooks with different things that I'm working on. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Okay. So yesterday I sat down and I was playing some more with these Mildliner pens with, I had gotten a dark blue ink, the Moto dark blue ink off Amazon. This was just a separate, it was on sale, and so I was like, I'm gonna try the dark blue, and I actually really liked this ink probably the best. Again, it's the Mildliner Moto, and this was the dark blue. I should probably put dark blue on the back with my label maker because it doesn't say. It does have a number, but I don't know if they all have the same number. Okay, so anyways, I had thought I was gonna test out the dark blue with all my colors yesterday, and I did. But I was not loving the, I was kind of forcing myself to brush letter or kind of do some of the brush lettering strokes like that. And I wasn't loving it. And I just kind of started writing out hello, hi. But what was interesting is I got into it and I just kind of was playing around, no expectation, no pressure. I started making these little just like dashes, and I quite enjoyed how it was as I was making them. And so I turned to the back, and then I got thinking, well, maybe I would just try printing the word. And I really enjoyed that so much more to print it. And again, just using the dots. And I thought you could really kind of see some of the blending there, even more so when I was doing the print. And it was just really fun to make the little dashes, and to look at it, it is kind of silly, or I mean, it's not that great, but for some reason I really liked the colors together, and it was just fun, and it just got me thinking that when we're sitting down to create like that, that it's not so much about what you actually create, the product that you create, but just what creation does for you in that moment. And I was kind of just feeling in flow and calm and relaxed when I was doing this, and that's really the point. And I guess I kind of needed to remind myself that, so I'm maybe reminding you, if you need to hear that too, to just and to stick with it, in that, like, I was getting really kind of frustrated with the other page, and to just try something new, flip the page, find a different part of the page, and just try something new instead of the kind of brush lettering, the cursive. I decided to do some print, and that made me much happier to do that, and I enjoyed it. So just leaning into the things that you notice that you like, colors you like, style you like, which could be different from moment to moment, day to day, what you're feeling. But to just kind of keep in mind that it's not about the end product. It's not about what you create as this product at the end, and not everything has to be something that is perfect and beautiful. It's just the point of sitting down and creating. So, because I've kind of learned throughout this journey so far, even just that I have to make a lot of what I consider to be bad art. I don't like it, to get to the thing that I do like. It's a lot of just sticking with it, trying different things. Like, for example, yesterday I was doing just some quick color swatches, and I was testing out some of my watercolors, and I remember in the moment thinking, oh my god, this looks so terrible, like this. And then I tried this morning, I looked down at it just now, I'm like, oh wow, that was really kind of pretty. I like those colors together. I like the blue with the pinks and those greens, and I don't know, the yellow, something about it just looked really pretty. Oh, and that was from, this was like a scrap paper. It looked like little coral bubbles. But yeah, just in the moment, I'm like, ugh. And I looked again, and I thought, oh, those are kind of nice colors. So you can generally get something from everything that we do. Oh, yeah, this was another page in there. It was just some, I think I used that Golden's gloss medium, so it's really sticky. But again, it's all just, even this, that's kind of cool. I remember, same thing. I think this was one of my earlier videos. I'd used like a string, and I was just trying to wipe some of it off. It's kind of cool. So this, you could paint over it. So just something to keep in mind that just kind of really resonated with me yesterday. Okay, so let's just see. mark making is not something that I usually enjoy so much. I more enjoy the process of like just laying down the ink and seeing what colors you get. I'm definitely still in, I'm just going to take a sip of coffee. Definitely in, I am kind of I guess stuck in that perfectionist loop with things. Into what I just said was to just more enjoy the process of creation, what creation does for you, not what you create. So I'm gonna try to lean into that. And I was thinking for like Valentine's Day to make some of these cards as like cards to give to people. And so I just laid down like some purples and some pinks. I used some ink on this one. I think this was ink actually that spilled that I had from last time. This was just kind of when I was pressing the papers together on the edges there, some of the paint slips out, and so usually I take just a blank card and kind of soak up some of the extra ink, and so that's what I got from that. But what I like about these prints I had shared in another video is just I like doing these like face down because you get like a mirror image, which is really cool. Look at, let's see, these probably do it. Yeah, not sure if that's the exact match, but you get the idea. It's probably like that. And this one I'd actually gone over. Having some issues with the lighting. I have this glass, like, I don't even know. Glass, matte, I guess, but it's glass. And when I have my desk lamp that I like to use on my desk, it reflects off on the glass, and it's probably not so visually appealing to have in the frame, but I'm also not sure you can see so well, so I need to do something with the lighting. But anyways, this kind of reminds me of some mountains. I don't like the lilac down there. Oh, I think I found the match. This must have been it. Pinks. So I didn't really love too many of these, but again, you've got to push through and just kind of keep going with it. And that's usually when you hit something that you do like. That one's okay. I like this one. This is one of the ones I like. So, it's kind of like that blended look, and if you look really close, I don't know that you guys are gonna be able to see it, but you can see I use some white ink, and it's got just a faint outline. Just reminds me of like jellyfish and like fluid, and this is probably my favorite. I love this one because it's got kind of a mix of, you can see some of that like dendritic articulated pattern, and then it's also just like fluid around it. It looks really cool. So this one I didn't love so much, but let's see what we can do with these. So I brought some of my paint pens out. I've got some Posca paint pens, and I got out my Supra Super Color by Carandash colored pencils. There's my favorite to use. They are, you can use them like as like a water-based media. And I also got out my gelato. Are these Faber-Castell? They are. So these are Faber-Castell gelatos. You can get them individually, I think, or as sets. I think I had a couple sets of them. So I just picked this up. I'm really liking this. Is Stardust. I'm just looking to see where I might want to put in. And then kind of looking to see if I like it. And these are really fun because you can kind of smudge them in. And actually I do kind of like that. I find these gelatos are really great to like break up like this, the fluid. It just adds like a little bit. You wouldn't even know it was really there. This is Lunar. It just adds a little bit to the whatever you're working on. Let's just see. So I have this Liquitex pen. I haven't opened this yet. It's an acrylic marker. This is the titanium white Liquitex acrylic marker. And I thought I really like Liquitex. Their fluid acrylic inks and their paints, I think, I enjoy using them, especially the acrylic like gouge. Oh, I'm pronouncing it wrong. But this, let's just get it. These are some of the cards that I had made just using the ink that slides out on the edges. And I actually really like them because they look like trees to me. Like this kind of looks like it could be a landscape or something. Could turn that into, and they just look like little trees. So I'm just going to shake up the pen. I can't tell since it's white if it's already. Probably help if I read the directions. Shake well, press down the nib several times. And you want to make sure that you cap these when you're shaking them, because from experience, I have had the top off and I'm shaking and shaking, and then it's splattered everywhere, gotten on my pants, and acrylic ink, excuse me, acrylic paint will not come out of fabric like that, or at least not easily. So I can see it coming out now. Just want to make sure, there it is, that you're not put it on the nib. You're not shaking it without the cap on it. So. And this is a chisel tip, which is kind of different because usually the Posca markers are a bullet tip. And when you use a acrylic paint pen like this, a lot of times, especially the white, you have to do a second layer. So I'll have to go through and kind of go over that again to, oh, I was gonna I have my jelly roll pens too. I love using my jelly roll pens to and as I'm doing this right now, I'm thinking, this looks really dumb. This is I don't like this, but it's just plain. Just play and see what, trying to think of ways to add contrast. Maybe some light pink. And I definitely like that over the darker, better than the purple. So I I even come down and kind of go over that a little bit. Let's just see, what do I have? I really love these Jelly Roll pens. They are the, they have gold in them, so they leave like a, this one's kind of a bluish color. Yeah, and you can see just the shimmer from them. So I am not liking this at all, but that's okay. Just stick with it. Okay, and I didn't bring any water, so I'm going to use my spray bottle to just wet these Supra colored pencils. These are a lot of fun to use. I like to get them a little bit wet, and then I don't even know. Let's just do something. I'm just gonna make some lines there. Maybe make some circles around the circles. I don't know. I'm not loving that at all, but it's okay. Just here we go. So you can see the difference going over it a second time. And the ink might be a little bit more, but you get the idea. So second coat on that. Let's see. I've just really wanted to do these for a while to see what would happen if just kind of made those into like a tree. And that's something too that I just try to kind of think is like, what if I did that? What would happen? What would happen if I did that? And I like it. That's all I added was a line right now. I could add some, what if I added some lines like that? And what if I made them straight instead of curved, more straight? Do I like that better? Do I like that color? And I'm just gonna take and make my friend Allison Durant, I had shared as an artist out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I said I've gotten a lot of inspiration from her, and one of the things that she adds is like her signature gold moon, and that was what I was just thinking. I don't have my bigger bronze or gold pen, so I'm just going to use, this is the Signa Uniball Signo pen, and I love the gold for mark making, but I'm just going to make an imperfect circle here and just fill that in. And I like that with just like the little moon. And oh, I don't have a green. What would happen? Let's see. Oh, I do have a green. Let's do, I'm gonna use, this is olive. I'm gonna wet it a little bit, just kind of loosely. And you can see these can be used as like a watercolor. You could just, if you put some on the paper, let's use this let's put it up here. Take that and then wet your brush. They're water soluble, so you can use it kind of like a watercolor. Pretty cool. 2 for 1. I really like these, and they're super soft or super soft. They really are. They're very soft, and I like working with using them. So yeah, that's not that I like more. I'm liking like Old Moon and trees, and I think I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. Just looking through some of these cards and thinking what I might want to do. Nice. Really like the shape of these. Let's this is kind of very similar, that stardust, to what it already is. Something contrasting would probably be better, but these particular cards are really like waxy, shiny. So I'm noticing when I'm using the gelatos, it's not really getting the texture that I was hoping for. That I've gotten for, oh, I like that watermelon a lot though. I'm gonna repeat that. So something else I learned from Allison is to, when you like something, to lean into that, to repeat it. And if you don't like something, to try something else. Oh, I love this color. This is strawberry. I'm wondering how that would look on this purple for contrast. Kind of like that. This is red cherry. Mars. And these are kind of nice because they go over, they're translucent, I guess, like that you can see the color, but you can also see the texture underneath. It doesn't, they're not so opaque that you can't see the texture underneath. So these are really quite nice. Here's a pink jelly roll pen. And I don't like that, but I do like that better. Well, let's just take a darker color and see what happens. I have a really hard time. I enjoy abstract, like mixed media art, and I have a really hard time. I'm going to take this Mars and just be brave and go over it. And yeah, I like that better. Yep. Add it in there too. I have a hard time. I guess my brain just thinks in like a very like rigid linear box sometimes with things to see different things, or I really struggle with mark making like this because I just don't know what marks to do. I really get in my head and I start overthinking what I should do, and I think I don't want to ruin what I've started or like created it to begin with, and I tend to get really stuck like I'm getting right now. So I'm thinking these are cards for like Valentine's Day. So maybe adding a word or some lines, maybe instead of color, I could use, I tend to like lines in my work, or maybe I could make like a repeating pattern like the arcs, and just kind of fill in the white space with these marks. And I'm enjoying making the marks right now, so that's what I'm just gonna keep leaning into right now. Because I was really feeling kind of stuck. And so something to kind of try to remind myself is to, if I feel myself really getting in my head like that, is to just start do something, and move my pen, move my brush. It's just paper. Remind myself it's just paper. It's okay. And no, I'm not completely loving that, but again, I'm just enjoying the process. I like making these marks. I don't really have to think. I'm not liking those last couple of marks I made, but it's okay. It's just paper. It's about what creating does for us, not what we're creating. And again, I think sometimes we put pressure. Like I thought, oh, this would be really fun to maybe give these to people to put in like a Valentine's Day card for them or something, and then I put this pressure to like make this finished thing that's like perfect to give somebody, and then I just can't. I can't do it. It's just, I put too much pressure on it, what I want it to be, and just instead of just creating and seeing what it becomes. So I think this is, I'm just looking at my watch, this is probably going to be the last thing that I can work on this morning, because I need to start getting ready for the day. Today is my day for, we have, each grade level has like a team, and we have team meetings, and one of the teams I'm on, we do, we take turns bringing in a lunch, which is really nice. There's 6 of us, so like every 5 times I bring something in, so this is my 3rd time with it being my turn, so I just have to make sure I have everything all set to go, but I've got to just pack it all up, make sure I don't forget anything. Decided to make, again, pressure of making something. I can't decide what to make usually for things like that. I decided to make a kind of just a big pan of lettuce to do like chicken Caesar salads or wraps. I got wraps if people want to make it into a wrap. And I'm rambling, but okay. So yeah, I mean, I like that better than what I was doing. I like this. I could probably add a little more contrast with black. And I like that even more, I think. So I think that's where we're gonna have to end for today. Thank you for kind of being with me this morning, and I don't feel like I have some like fantastic finished product, but I can tell like my nervous system, I feel calm and relaxed, and I really enjoyed the the process of doing the lines like that. There is is it Zentangles? I don't know, I'm saying that wrong, but where you can like, I don't know, it's lines, not, I don't know that they do curved lines, but anyways, that's very relaxing. I can see how that, Zentile? I don't know. I can see how people get into doing that though, because it is very relaxing and there's no pressure. Okay, so let's close out like we always do with the tiny book of Tiny Pleasures by Irene Smith and Astrid Vanderhurst. And this was gifted to me by my dear friend Julia. Let's just see what we get today. The Waxing Moon. Oh, I love that. With an exotic shop in your neighborhood, I'm bringing back a souvenir. Supermarket souvenir. Pasta. Huh. Don't know what that is, but I like the tube onto it. And the moon. I wonder if you can see the moon this morning. And I quite like this card, ironically, out of what I made. I like the gold moon with it, and I really like trying to make those into trees. I think I could do more with that, but I hope that you have a day full of ease and find pockets of joy within your day, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. We'll see you then.